All right. Let's see. Let me know if you see the screen. You got to go to YouTube. Yeah, it's streaming. Do you see it? Are you diarying? Are you journaling yet? Bro, you have to journal. You have to journal. All right. So I changed the background color, on the left side, on the right side, just to kind of break up the look, because there's so many charts on there that it can get a little bit like, I don't know, they could kind of get blended, you know. Now take a look at the. I didn't. I mean, look at this right here. You see this pivot right here on the indexes? I don't know if you see it yet. That's right. Okay, guess about what time that is. No, 5 a.m. Okay, and that's this right here. That's this right here. All right. Look, cross the Bollinger, candle close, push up. That is the London Open. Okay, and that's on the indexes, which I normally don't even trade the indexes on the London Open. I usually focus on the energies. I didn't wake up today to trying to, was feeling a little under the weather, so I was just getting more rest. But so yeah, we're gonna focus on these candle closes. We're gonna focus on the golden setup for mean reversion. The candle closes for the orb breakout. The candle has to look interesting on the 5, the 15, or the 30. Um, or I'm not interested. So what we have here, we're gonna focus on the metals here, which is these bottom two rows here. This one right here. I don't know if it's updated. Yeah, you see it there. And then the one below it, right? So we got gold and we got copper. All right, so we're going to be looking at these candle closes on these three charts, right? That are, the charts that are to most to the right. That's the 15, the 30, the 15, the 5. And let's see what it looks like in the context of the higher time frame. So we could kind of interpret overbought, oversold conditions. Let me have a little filter here. Restructured this, and that's my alarm for 8:28. How you feeling today? Yeah. Uh, I'm okay. I did like this nasal flush thing, which helps my sinuses last night. So, a good amount, a good amount. I have to do that pretty regularly, especially when I get like this. I have to be on top of that. You could say what you want about TradeStation maybe being an old platform, but I haven't seen many platforms that you could do this level of customization. You know what I mean? Like I'm basically loading a workspace with I don't know how many charts. We got one, two, three, four, five, six, six times eight, 48 charts, 48 charts, one space with all these indicators. I mean, that's pretty robust. All right, so we got 15 seconds. So let's see if any of these candles close interesting. Let's be patient. Yes, sir. All right, so we just closed and we got nothing under 30. Um, Nothing under 15 really, and nothing of the five except for gold over here has been consolidating on the five. We are oversold on gold, and we did hit a support area here, which is the previous week's or a low of a previous week. So I'm expecting a push to the upside. I'm gonna get ready for a long on gold, and I can see it coming in. And I'm gonna enable my strategy here. I'm long gold, move out there. hmm Yeah, you see the position bar at the top? The reason for that is that we hit a support area here. This yellow dotted line is a an indicator I wrote about the previous high low, and it's bouncing strongly off of that. It bounced here. You can see it on the 60. Okay, it pushed back up. You see this green bar on the 60, and then it went back down. Okay, on the 30, it's basically you can see this bar right here, this candle right here, where it's basically like a strong hammer, right? And that's going to serve as our support area, which this looks like it formed at 7, okay? And now we're consolidating right here. So it's because of this consolidation, okay, that I'm getting in long here. So, and I also saw time and sales kind of yeah, a bunch of, green float in there. It could, it could. No, I mean, look, bro, trading is interpretation. You sure? Okay. Well, you got support right there. So if you got a positive, we're at the we're at the low of this range. We're bouncing off the 200 period moving average on the daily. So be mindful of that. We got gold kind of building up here. So I got rid of, the stuff that I had on the right because it's just taking up space for no reason. You can see my position right here. And I'll just mark off with a line. My entry is 5190, and I'll just do a line on it, about right there. That right there is my entry. I'll make it yellow. I mean, when you look at the 30, right? Or even clearer on the 15. Look at the W here that's forming. Drop, okay? Push up, pull back, and then now it's basically consolidating, and I'm expecting a move to the upside. W. And that's the algorithm getting in long on gold. Yeah, I get a lot of my best, just ideas and thoughts after, maybe an hour after trading and then a journal. You should check that out. Now, normally on the 8:30, I don't trade equities, but I'm starting to pay more attention to it. Traditionally I've been doing just, metals at 8:30. But look at this on this side. This is equities, and you can see that we fit the profile here. Okay, what do we have here? Look at these candle closes. You see what I mean? It's we got it right there. This is 8. We got 8:30. Boom. Look at these 5-minute candles. Look at this ES candle. When did you take that short? Yeah, but like what time did you take that short? Okay. Yeah, so that's exactly the time. All right. I'm gonna close this gold. I'm gonna give it one candle close and let's see how the next candle opens. The next range or time I'll be interested in is 9 o'clock for energies. Selling off hard. Let's see how this candle performs. I wanted to basically pop up from that little area right there. Let's see. Just get to about half the bar close. So about 2 minutes. So the times here are at the top. The bar closes. Big sell-off in the metals. Taking account of trend here. Big sell-off that started really at overnight. All right, we're coming up to 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the 5 minute close. Let's see if we can get a push up. Yeah, I don't like how I managed this chart. I should have gotten rid of it right away. No, it's fine. Look, these breakouts, they're gonna happen and they're gonna happen fast. Okay, so the idea is to, if you see a candle structure, take it, but close it if it goes against you right away. So I'm closing it. The only mistake I made there is that I got out right now. The only mistake is that I didn't get out as soon as it went against me because the breakouts, once they happen or once you see the candle, they're gonna go. It's not gonna fuck around. So that's a mistake. I have to, journal that. I have to make a correction on that in my process. So we're at 8:43. So really, I got nothing to do here until 9 o'clock. Yeah. So let me give you let me highlight, and this is the mistake I made, right? Let me highlight something. This right here was my signal candle. Or wait, I 8:30 was right around here. So I saw this candle, I saw this candle. All right, I get in. All right, boom. Okay. If it breaks out, we're good. If it breaks through this, close immediately. I did not close immediately. And that's basically the plan right there. We know what time we want to take these entries. We know where we want to take these entries. We know what we're looking for. Now that not closing the trade, that's more about trade management. Yeah. What are your plans today? Therapy? You going to Granny's after? Okay. I, yeah, I'm feeling a little better. I want Derek Carr. Come to the come to the Dolphins. Hmm. Derek Carr and Quinn Ewers. I'm fine with that. It's just congestion, bro. Hmm. You hate on me, huh? Yeah, hater. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I would wait for 9:30. It's probably gonna just chill there for till 9:30. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Hmm. Well, it's basically it's basically on top of the 200-day moving average. So there's some support there. But if you look at this for context, if you're looking at my screen, the Nasdaq has broken its trend. You said that. This chart, the second from the top is the Nasdaq, right? And it's basically going sideways, sideways down, partially down, right? And this white line is the 200-day moving average, and it's basically sitting on top of that. The Dow was in a stronger uptrend and it broke that. S&P's kind of in the middle. So, yep, all right. Yo, getting long crypto. I'm back long gold. Yep. hmm This is the stock account, the cash account. Um, well, the 500 is not a lot, right? So we have to um if you're not in any position, you should be in SGov, right? We talked about that. SGov, SGOV, and you should learn about what that is. Go to the ETFDB and like look up what SGov is. So that's number one. The second thing is we got indexes, selling off quite a bit. So really, you could only go long. Um, so you want to be looking for something that is uh, setting up for, a rally, so to speak. Something that's, you want to buy low, right? Sell high, it's the traditional, the old school thing. So you got two choices. You either go with an index or an ETF, or you go with an individual stock. Okay. And then if you're not in any of those two, then you go into SGov. Okay. Um, so now it's just a matter of timing the market. I would start off with just since you know the indexes, I would start off with just an ETF for something like the S&P or the spot or the Nasdaq, but you want to buy at a strategic location, you know, and then you want to scale into it. Um, so the TQQQ, that's the triple leveraged QQQ, which is the Nasdaq. It's leveraged, so on a down day you lose more, on an up day you make more. And I think the TQQQ is not too expensive. So you want to wait, okay, for a good time to buy, and then buy the TQQQ. I mean, you only have 500, so I would just max it out. And then and what you should do is basically have like a workspace, right? Build a workspace that's dedicated to your portfolio, to your account, where you just track this one thing, you know? And maybe a basket of things that you monitor. So you could have like, I mean, I would just focus on the triple Qs. I could create a workspace and send it to you. Hey, why did this get on? All right, so 908, I'm in gold and in Bitcoin. Yep, yep. Same deal. Just look at just track the candle close. I was already, I had a bullish bias on gold, and at the 9 o'clock hour, when I saw the look at the 15 minute bar, right? I'm gonna put an arrow on it right here on this guy. You see that guy? Yeah. So when I saw the 15-minute bar close, I'm already at a an area I like. So it has to make sense. Like it's not just the bar closed and it looks this and no, I like the area, I like the time, 9 o'clock, I like the candle, I see the time of sales, I'll take the trade. Same thing happened with MBT, which is micro Bitcoin. Look at the candle here. First of all, I like the area. It pulled back to an area of strong support. You could even call it a demand zone. Okay, look at the 15-minute close. I'll put an arrow on it right there. Boom. Now I was tempted at the on the indexes, right? Because they all closed with kind of a candle there that looked like a pivot candle. But since we have 9:30 open coming, I was like, let me wait for 9:30 to be extra certain, you know, and the time and sales wasn't, giving me indications that it was a good time. So I didn't take the trade. So now it's just a matter of managing this trade and doing the thing. Let me show you um, yesterday, right? I know I showed you yesterday on the indexes what it looked like on the 5 and the 15, and it broke out. Look at the 30-minute, right? This is right here, you know. See the 30 and this is the S&P on the top. But look, it's the same for the Nasdaq, for the Dow, even for crypto. So it was the same, kind of setup here right at 9:30, right? If you look across on the 15 and on the 5 and on the 30, you had this tight consolidation candle. And it's like, okay, that looks like it's ready to break out. Take the trade, manage the trade, you know? That's what these breakouts are all about. It's an anticipation type of trade. You don't have a lot of time to see it coming. You have to just see the candle close, take the trade. If it goes against you, close the trade. Like that, ruthless. You got to be ruthless with your, dumping the trade. Now, with a golden setup, mean reversion, supply demand kind of trade, where you see price go entering the zone from a mile away, okay, that you have to, you're looking for confirmation, you're looking for, a reversal signal, something like that. You have time to make that decision. Um, but the breakouts, you don't really have time. You just have to take the trade. If the candle closes the right way at the right time in the right location, just go, right? And then It's kind of better because there's less questioning of, with a reversal, that reversal could take 15, 60 minutes. It could happen in 5 minutes. It could happen in 1 minute candle. It could reverse. So you don't know how long that reversal is going to take. That golden setup where it enters a zone and then it reverses and all that shit. You just don't know how long that reversal is going to take. The breakouts are essentially, a breakout is pretty immediate. If it's a good breakout, if it's what you're looking for, if it's a textbook situation, it's going to happen uh essentially right away. The indexes look like they're set out for a breakout. You can see the basing here. Taking some heat on the gold. Let's see. All right, closing it. Oh, easy to say when it's breaking this stuff. Bullshit. Index is looking like they won the top. But. Okay. That ain't nothing to play with. Nice. Okay. So mm. 9:27 and 30 seconds. We can see gold rally here off the open. 2 minutes. 1 minute. So with 1 minute to go, this is where you start looking at the candles before they close to anticipate what they look are going to look like when they close. I could see on the 30-minute gold, we got kind of like a consolidation candle there. Um, the Dow 15 is a small body candle. The 30-minute candle looks like a long wick, long tail wick. 30-minute ES, long tail wick. Some long tails there on the 30-minute chart for indexes. I am going long on the Dow. Yeah, I'm looking at gold here now. Let's see here. No good candle on gold. Strong move. Let's see what happens if it sustains. Add one here on a little pullback here. I'm going to drop this down to a tick. Let's see, 500 tick. Good Lord. It's just too much shit going on my screen, and it's unresponsive. So I'm not gonna switch to a tick. Fuck that. Well, let me see. Yeah, we got strong opens on Microsoft, Meta, Google, Nvidia, Netflix. So yeah, I'm adding. I'm adding. So I track those stocks because those are the major market caps of the Nasdaq. Those are the biggest stocks in the Nasdaq. So when you see a sell-off in those, you could track it in the pre-market, and the pre-market doesn't really tell you much, but it does. Sometimes you see a flow of buy orders coming in, gives you a little bit of an edge. Um, so hey, look at oil on the 930 candle is a doji type of small body candle reversal. So oil, I'm looking for a short potentially here. But I am long Nasdaq. It's on the position bar at the top. Long Nasdaq and Bitcoin. I do not like the way that candle closed on Bitcoin. I closed it. See some selling pressure on these tech stocks. Apple selling off. Microsoft had a pop, filled the gap, and now it's selling. Let's see what happens. Ooh, don't like that 5 minute candle. Let's see if this is a rebound here. Oh shit. All right. Oh, this shit real good. I love gold. On what? What are we talking about? Nasdaq? It's there was some selling that came in at the top of that range of the first candle, that candle that has a long tail, where topping tail on the 5 minute. It kind of pushed down, but now the buyers are stepping in. I think it's going to break out. It's fighting. It's fighting. It's right at VWAP. You see that yellow line on my chart is VWAP right there. It's breaking above VWAP there. Okay, now we're looking good there. Hmm. Come on, baby. Baby. Yeah. All right, gold finding some support here. Maybe find a little bottom. Wait for this candle. It's 9:38, 30 seconds. Good. Yeah. Fear, bro. You gotta control the fear. That's why, the reason why I look at these candle closes is because I have a hard time controlling my emotions. And if I focus on just the candle closes and the time and the structure, then I take my emotions out of it. It's like I'm just gonna do what the chart tells me to do and fuck everything else. But it means you have to be on top of it, you know? To really be on top of it. 30 seconds to the candle close. I'm looking at gold. Close what? Oh, I'm gonna stay in. Mm-hmm. All right. Maybe you're right. Okay. We got a kind of a doji kind of candle on gold. Let's see what the time and sale says. And I think it's pushing. I think it's pushing. All right, be patient. Right. It's the tech. It's tech. Remember that the AI trade was is the tech trade. And right now, the AI trade is kind of exhausted. You know, it's been going on for a long time. People are starting to like deleverage, get out of their tech trade, right? But you know, at these levels where Nasdaq is finding, you know, that higher time frame, long-term kind of support. You know, I showed you the chart on the daily. It's bouncing off the 200 period moving average, so it's like, you know, there's support here. Let's see what happens. Gold just looking so weak. No, man, you see my position bar for real? Can you even see my shit? You gotta full screen it. Well, you also have, yeah, that's all I'm in right now, yeah. Yikes. Mm. Dow completely broke down. Big tech is still mixed. Let's see here. Mhm. All right, so let's take a look at a golden setup here in gold. It's selling off. Where is it selling off to? Is the question. Gold is the third chart from the top, and I see a setup here. You see this candle on gold on the daily right there. Oof, this trade on the Nasdaq is turning into shit. We are entering the territory of some of a, what you would call a golden setup for gold. Okay. Uh, I got crypto selling back off into this area here. I believe to be some strong support. I scale with this. I don't just have to do it. Try about to. Right up in here. That's coming up in this area. Yeah. Okay, so I close the Nasdaq. Not a good day. All right. Waiting for it's 9:50. Give it a few minutes. I'll be right back. Yo. All right, we are in the gold support area. So let's see what happens if it starts reacting to that. We would need to see a reversal structure here for. Take crypto reacting, gold reacting. Gotta wait for a close here. Looking at crypto and gold here. Gold wants to turn around. Getting long gold. I'll have a quick stop on gold. Yeah, it's structures in the ground, though. It's not spider webs. They call it spider webs. Yeah, it's not real spider webs. It's a geological structure that they photographed from, the sky of Mars. What it indicates is that there was water on Mars, which we already kind of knew because these little spider webs are like like let's say a swamp, like little ponds that form, and then there's like little spider web looking things. Shit, I'm on top of all my nerdy news. Yes, sir. You just see some structure build out on gold. You see this structure on gold, right? On the daily. Yeah, taking some heat here. Those that wait. I still believe in that level, but gotta wait, gotta get out. We had another candle close. Let's see. We are at 10 o'clock. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Son of a bitch. Now gold looks like it wants to pop. Copper is in a support. It's just the leadership. It's not the people. They just, they took over back in the 70s and they fucking were extremely brutal to the population and they just, they, bro, they've been in power for like 40 years. You think that they thought they were going to continue doing their bullshit. Seb, uh, a bully's gonna keep doing what they do until they get punched in the face. You know, that's what happens. A bully needs to get humbled, otherwise they keep on being a bully. Hey, gold looking a little strong. I'm gonna wait for the candle to close. See a green candle here. There was an interview there. I'm gonna send it to you, really telling what happened. It's literally the guy that went over to negotiate with Iran. He's he talks about how the negotiation started was basically from a place where they're like, "Fuck you, we're not doing shit," you know? They were just completely like stonewalling, like, "Nah, we're not gonna do this," "Fuck you." No, no, they don't. Well, they were killing their people. They were killing their people. Check out that check out that interview, bro. I just sent you the link. Check out that interview. That interview's fucking crazy. That guy Steve Witkoff is Trump's like main confidant negotiator guy. And he's been sending him to, he negotiated the Gaza, the release of the hostages. He's been sending them all over the place to the Russia, Ukraine battle. That war, Ukraine is basically turning it around. Russia's gonna fall, bro. In regards to that war, yeah, Russia's leading money. Because think about what we did. We got the European nations to stop buying Russian natural gas. And once you do that, Russia is now not, they're not bringing in the same kind of money. So they can't pay their soldiers, they can't rearm, their whole economy's fucked. So war is really about your capacity, your economic capacity. Okay, that's how you win a war. Because you just have to basically outspend the other guy. That's what war is. All right, so I'm liking the structure on Bitcoin, and I'm starting to like the structure on gold, or I should say it has potential. But I do like the structure on Bitcoin. So I'm gonna buy one on Bitcoin, MBT. Oh, actually it went two. Okay, that's good enough. Let's go, Bitcoin. Bring me fortune. You know that movie, The Gladiator? Yeah, there's a line in that movie where the guy says that. Difficult open, man. Let me tell you, difficult open. Very whipsaw. I mean, as bad as it could be, this open. Yeah? What would you say was the edge that how you read it? What was how you do that? Okay. Hmm. Okay, so you took a, okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, they're celebrating. They're celebrating. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And how does your mom feel? Yeah, it's it's convenient when that she won't say anything, right? That's how it is. It's like, hmm, right. Yeah, but like, okay, okay, Epstein, Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton. What? What do you want to what do you want to say about it? Yeah. What do you want to say about Epstein? Like, seriously. Like, that's your old people. And she voted for Hillary. What the fuck? Yeah. Like, I know, I know. I find it, amusing, the irony. It's like, some people in Alice's family, they're obviously Venezuelan. And when Maduro got taken out, I'm like, oh, what happened? I don't hear anybody talking. I don't hear anybody saying anything, but privately, they feel good about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just propaganda that the liberal media has been pushing for so many years. And the liberal agenda has been embedded inside our universities, so that was their long-term goal. And that money comes from uh, that's foreign money too. It's not just like, democratic donations to universities or no, it's foreign money that comes from other governments that they want to push this radical liberal shit because they know it weakens America. So when your enemies are pushing liberalism or progressive or democratic ideology or woke shit, what does that tell you? It's like your enemies are saying, yeah, 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 we support you. Like those are your enemies. Like put two and two together. They want to destroy us, and they're destroying us with your ideology. Doesn't it make you seem like your ideology is just fucked up? But of course you can't really. Oh yeah, if if you have legal, no, if you have fair elections, we do. If it passes, there's so much resistance to voter ID. Why do you think that is? It's because if they implement that shit, that'll be the end of the Democrats. They'll never win another election. Never. Not for at least a decade at least, not until they reform and they start making their party, about policy instead of fucking, ideology. Like they will not win. They know they won't win. This, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I've lived through since Reagan, and I don't really remember Reagan per se. I was really small, but I know enough about Reagan because, I'm a student of history and stuff, and I like this shit. Um, and it's really, Trump is number one, Reagan is number two, and then honestly, Bill Clinton is number three, and then George Bush Sr., I would say, is number four, and then I would rank uh, George W. Bush and Obama the same. They're really low, and then Biden is the absolute worst. No, he wasn't. He was just yeah, some mummy that they rolled out whenever they needed to do a thing and put him back in his yeah, put him back in his coffin and freeze him. Yeah. Put him back in the cryo chamber. Inject him with a fucking amphetamines to hype him up for the fucking State of the Union. Yeah, that's what they did. If you watch the last State of the Union, he was on fire talking shit, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, they drugged him. They gave him some fucking amphetamine shit to fucking hype him up crazy. Yeah, some Adderall to hype him up crazy." And then he had to rest for 3 days. He gives a speech and then he has to rest for 3 days. Fucking shit. Oh no, he won't be. He'll be used as an example. He'll be used as an example like Jimmy Carter is. Jimmy Carter is seen as like the weakest uh, geopolitical kind of president there ever was because Iran. That's when Iran took over the this regime that we're destroying now was during Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy Carter couldn't do shit about it. And they had our hostages, and they had them for over a year. They had American hostages over there. It's crazy. Oh yeah, he's close to it. It's funny how they say, "Oh, you want to run again for a third term?" It's like, dude, the guy wants is fucking gonna be what? And he's gonna be president until he's 100 years old. Like, he's not gonna do that. Like, give me a fucking break. You want to be king for life. It's like, dude, no, he doesn't, bro. He just doesn't want this fucking country to go to shit. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I see him honestly, honestly, I see him almost like a prophetic figure, like almost like I don't want to say I don't want to say a prophet, but like a leader we needed, like a leader that came in, yeah, kind of like that, you know. So I see him like that, and every single leader that was transformative like that, there was a lot of people that hated them, you know. Everybody hates, yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, yeah, I'm not done taking my ass whooping today, so let's see what happens. All right, homie. I love you.